I'm reading this really cute book. It's a cozy fantasy called The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. I'm really enjoying it. It's the first time I'm reading this author, and it starts out sounding like, oh, it may be a very light young adult book, but it's not. It is for grown ups, first of all. And it has so much depth to it. Like there's a lightness to the entire story, and there's a really cute sense of humor, but also there is a lot of depth to so many statements, so many thoughts and feelings that get covered in the book. One one statement that I read, I was so moved by it that I'm like, okay, I have to come here and talk about it with all of you on the podcast. This main character, Mika, is talking about niceness versus kindness. Niceness is good manners, and stopping to give someone directions and smiling at the overworked cashier at the supermarket. These are all good things, but they have nothing to do with what's underneath. Niceness is all about what we do when other people are looking. Kindness, on the other hand, runs deep. Kindness is what happens when no one's looking. Welcome to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm so glad you're here today. This is a podcast about mindfulness, joyfulness, and well being for small, conscious entrepreneurs and creatives, and also to be applied generally in your life for all of us. If you enjoyed this episode, then you're going to really like my free newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. Go to veganosaurus.com/newsletter to sign up. The link is in the show notes. So that statement Mika Moon makes about niceness versus kindness, in all its simplicity, it holds so much weight, right? It's so very true. It clarified something to me about people who run customer-facing businesses. Say your vegan restaurant, or when the owners or the team is constantly interacting with the customers and clients, these kinds of businesses. What sets the experience of a customer, what sets it up, one restaurant apart from another, one business apart from another when it comes to the experience? Why is it that some people feel more connected to one kind of business versus another, which is the same business but run by somebody else, has a different kind of team? This is the thing. Everybody is nice, right? You are in the hospitality industry, you are in the front-facing customer serving business, then yes, of course, everyone's going to be nice, everyone's going to have good manners, everyone's going to be polite. I go into a restaurant, the team is smiling, welcoming you, giving you the menu, talking to you, maybe even making recommendations. I like it. But then I go to another restaurant and I visit there a lot more often. The reason being, when I go there, the way the team is warm and welcoming, the way the owners are warm and welcoming is very different. They are not merely being polite or nice. They are not doing things because, they are expected to, but they look genuinely happy to meet you. You can feel that coming off of them. They're like, oh, it's so good to meet you. So glad you're back. And then the way they talk to you, the way they spend time with you, that shifts the energy of the entire place. It's not something you can touch or feel or define, but that energy is so important. Creating that kind of the warmth and the depth and the actual kindness, and not just the niceness and politeness, that kind of energy. When I ran my vegan restaurant, Carrots, for those of you who don't know me, we ran the restaurant for several years. It was India's first vegan restaurant. We ran it for 8 years before the pandemic, and then we shut it down during 2021, early 2021. We shut it down. Through those years of running the restaurant, one thing that people kept coming back to tell us, even though, yes, of course, they like the food, and especially because we had like 40 pages on our menu and we had everything available, because we were the only place for the first couple of years, and we were like, okay, then we have to cater to every kind of taste bud, make every possible kind of food so that people can see that vegan food is interesting and delicious and nothing to be weirded out about, and that people can enjoy it just as much or possibly even more than what they would normally have in their non-vegan restaurants. So we had something to prove at that point, so we we did something crazy and had more and more and more items on our menu. 40 pages. I wouldn't recommend it to the new businesses now, but then with the new businesses, you all share the, I wouldn't call it burden, but share that work of spreading knowledge, spreading joy about vegan food out into the world. You all share it because there are so many more businesses and restaurants and cafes that exist now. So it's okay. You don't have to do every single thing. You can focus on your specialties while somebody else focuses on their specialties, and it all works out beautifully. But when you're the only one, you just you just have to do it. All this to say, people loved the food. We made sure of that. We kept improving, kept fine-tuning over the years, and it just got better and better and tastier. And they would bring their non-vegan friends and family, and people would just come to eat there, not because it's vegan food, but because they love the food. It stopped being just a vegan restaurant specifically. Like, that was not the only identity, though it was our USP. It became a restaurant that the food that people just loved for the food, for its own sake. But more than loving the food, again and again and again, people would always say, I love the energy of this place. I love the way we feel. Me, my friends, whoever I bring, my family, I love the way we all feel when we come here and dine here, when we spend time here. The way you all talk to us, the way your team is with us, we feel at home. We feel really welcome. We just did it because that's just naturally how we felt. We were very fortunate to have a nice team, and ended up just being our energy, our atmosphere ended up being that way, like welcoming everybody, feeling happy. And especially if it's regulars, people who visit again and again, feeling genuinely delighted that they were coming back, felt like they were our friends. So we had that energy about us, and I thought everybody did it. Everybody had that kind of energy. Every restaurant, every cafe, especially the vegan ones, but everyone is like that. Like, everybody's kind and welcoming and genuinely, authentically joyful to host these people who are coming to dine. But then I realized that's not the case. Me as a customer myself, when I went out, I could, see the difference in each different place that I visited, all kinds of restaurants, and I could see the difference in energy, and I got repeatedly attracted to the kind of places which had more warmth, which had more depth to that niceness, going into kindness. And I feel like this is a skill. Though, yes, to some people, making friends, it all comes naturally, right? But I feel like this is also a skill you can develop. So I sat down and figured out, okay, what exactly did we do to make people feel this way when they visited our restaurant and made them want to come back again and again? And I reverse engineered the whole thing. I'm going to be doing a workshop very soon about this particular topic, about how to make friends when you're running a small business and turn it into something bigger than just a business. Of course, the business is important. You need to survive and thrive, but how to make it into a community energy, how to create that warmth, how to create friendships around your business. I'm doing a whole workshop on that. So subscribe to my newsletter and you'll get to know about it. Veganosaurus.com/newsletter and sign up. And when I do the workshop, I'm doing it in a couple of weeks, you'll get to know about it. Kindness versus niceness. Think about this in your business, your work, your day-to-day life. Where are you being nice, on the surface level because it's a good thing to do, versus where are you digging deeper and genuinely being kind? I think this is something that serves us to contemplate about this particular point. I think it'll serve all of us and generally make the world a better place. Not just us being kind and nice, also to be able to perceive whether the person who you're talking to, the others you're facing, the businesses that you visit, or just people you meet at work, in your life, who is being kind versus who is being nice. Trying to discern that energy, that overall improves the quality of your life, right? Because you want to surround yourself with more authentically, genuinely kind people who truly, from the depth of their heart and soul, want to be nice to you versus being nice because it's good manners or because it's polite or it's nice etiquette. Sometimes it's even the other way around, where people can be kind, like on the inside, but they may not be very nice or polite. Sometimes they may be brusque or short in their communication. They may feel like, okay, this person's not nice, but just because they're not nice doesn't mean they're not kind. So there is also that. Even if, say, you're a person who doesn't really want to waste too much time in good manners, politeness, all the time, of course that's tiresome, right? To do things because you're expected to be a certain way, speak a certain way. No, nobody wants to do that. But you don't have to change that part of yourself. You don't have to be nice on the surface at all. As long as you are being kind and you are being genuinely warm from the inside, it's okay. It's okay on the outside if you come across as rough or brusque or whatever. So even there, you get to see that difference. What is on the surface level? What is in the depth? You see that within yourself and you start noticing it within others also. As you practice this, you can tune yourself to realize, okay, who's very, very nice, but really, how deep is that niceness? Versus this person may come across as maybe even rude or whatever at first, but in their hearts, in the depths of their being, they are who you want to surround yourself with. That simple little sentence from Sangu Mandana's book, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which is so cute. I highly recommend it. Just that one little excerpt, those few lines, see how it inspired this entire episode. I love books. This is why I love books. This is why I love fiction especially. I read non-fiction, but fiction, there is so much that it pulls out from you. There's so much it inspires from within you. It triggers out in your brain. I mean, there's so much. By the way, if you don't read fiction books, if you don't read novels and stories, you're really missing out on something. So please start including fiction into your life, okay? Whatever you learn from non-fiction, you can learn like 100 times more in fiction, just by reading these stories and understanding these characters from various books, various styles of fiction books. Which, by the way, I also provide recommendations of books in my newsletters. Whenever I send them out once or twice a month, I always have a recommendation for books that I'm reading and I'm loving, or what I finished and stuff like that. So yeah, if you would like to get more recommendations about books, fiction and non-fiction, then that's another reason to sign up for my free newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. Veganosaurus.com/newsletter. Go there and sign up. See you inside the tribe. And that is all for today. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye.